Hello.
I don't even... We have so many deals for you. Like, college softball and professional softball just combined decided to implode over the weekend.
Yeah.
And they're just like two little gifts for us to talk about, like bow-tied in today's show. So you're going to get... You're going to get two heaping scoops of deal this morning.
We had to deviate the
Have
deal
to deviate.
because there was so much going on over the weekend. I thought I was going to have your typical weekend, just leisurely, and then kablooey.
Kablooey is exactly what happened to Chez's weekend. She was working overtime because we were going to talk about Freshman Player of the Year.
Yeah, we were.
We were going to speculate. I was going to give you clearly the best picks for Freshman Player of the Year, but I can wait until next week to give superior picks because holy cajoli.
Cajoli.
Man. All right. Here we go. Chez.
All right.
Take us in
So
here.
if you were on the site starting on Friday, no one would have thought this was happening at this time, but Aaron Earlywine, former University of Missouri coach, was terminated.
He sure
Basically, less than 2 weeks away from opening day. And you all know, Earlywine has kind of been in the spotlight more than once.
Yeah, and like the whole thing, like all press is good press, really isn't accurate. I think going back to that 2016 debacle with the letter to the MSU coach, that was not good press for Earlywine.
I mean, he claims if you read the statement, and it's on our site, he claims he was blindsided. But I would argue to say that he wasn't blindsided. If anything, he was blindsided by the timing of the firing over it actually happened.
We didn't actually discuss the timing before the show. What do you make of the timing?
I find it odd.
Why does Missouri not fire him sooner, or why are they what is happening?
I don't know what goes into the mind of that decision.
Well, you should, Chez.
When it comes to being an AD,
because
I've never been an AD.
These people need answers. They want answers, Chez. You're supposed to give them.
Yeah, and say what you will, the Missouri softball program under the guidance of Aaron Earlywine has been a good one.
Yeah, I mean...
You're talking about 11 postseason appearances, 3 Women's College World Series appearances, top-ranked recruiting classes.
Record of 482 wins, 182 losses. He was a successful coach in the wins and losses column. Where he was not successful was putting a damper on all the chaos.
Yeah.
Like, how much chaos can one program take?
Yeah.
Right? And you can see it with all the studs that have transferred out of Mizzou in his 11 years, or his, how many is 11 years? 10 plus years.
Almost 12 seasons. This would have been his 12th season.
Yeah.
But 11 full seasons.
Yeah.
And not to mention, they just had a brand new, beautiful stadium built.
They sure did.
In 2017.
They sure did.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah. It's very odd timing.
Now, you and I were kind of talking back and forth, and some of you on social have made the comparison of Earlywine's firing to Michael Lotief's. What do you make of that?
Yeah, the only way that these two firings are the same is that both coaches in their statements have said, we were being told by the university that we were doing a great job. Both of them said that. Not verbatim. I'm not quoting them. But that was the gist of their statement. Earlywine said blindsided. I don't remember what Lotief said. That's the only way that these two are remotely close. Because if you look at Lotief, the reaction from Lotief's players and the reaction of Earlywine's players, completely different. One, let's talk about the fact that Earlywine had studs leaving his program. Lotief had studs coming into his program. And the studs only left ULL, or Raging Cajuns, because I know you guys don't like ULL, after he was fired. Like, Paige Lowry left Mizzou.
Tori Finucane
left Mizzou. DJ Sanders left Raging Cajuns when Lotief was gone. Lotief's press conference had 20-plus players sitting behind him being like, this was bullshit, this should not have happened. I don't see that happening with Mizzou. I don't see the Missouri Tigers.
I think
it could happen.
I mean, that might be too early to tell.
It could happen. I'm saying that it could happen. Do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't think it's going to happen.
I think the other thing to think about is who's going to be the new coach.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's going to be announced sometime this week, the interim coach.
Really?
But that opens it up for another pool of coaches.
Man, do you think? Oh, the interim coach is going to be named. I don't know. Man.
I have some ideas on who might take that program.
Let's shoot. Give him the deal, Chez.
You know,
we promised heaping scoops of deal.
I feel like, you know, that's going to be a prime time coaching position, and we all know this. Once the 2018 season is over, there's going to be a whole another slew of jobs opening up, and probably some big ones. I feel like 2018 is going to be like the year of big programs.
Well. If the beginning of 2018 is any indication of what's going to happen for softball in 2018, it's going to be a roller coaster ride of emotions, folks.
Right.
But no, this is a big time job.
Yeah, I'm just speculating, but I feel like not that this has any validity to it, but I think a top-rated assistant who would be great for that job is Jimmy Colitis.
Oh.
I know. I went out on a limb and said it. I think he's going to be. That would be a great.
She sure did.
Fit. I mean,
I see you.
He's got some. He's with a program that's a top 3 program in our eyes, and he's a terrific recruiter. I think, I don't know, Mizzou, if you're out there, you might want to go, you know, give old Jimmy a call. Not to take Oregon fans. I know you're out like, what are you doing?
The Oregon people are going to start blowing us up, being like, Chez, don't take our sister away.
I have no insight to this. I haven't even talked to Jimmy about this, but I just think that he would be a great coach for that club.
Do you ever think Florida's coach, Rocha,
would
leave?
Possibly, but not at this time. I think right now they've got a good thing going.
Oregon has a good thing going too, though.
I know they do. But it's just something to think about. You know, Jimmy's from the South.
Allie, you got any people? I'm saying maybe Rocha. I'm just throwing Rocha in there.
I really like Chez's assumption that Jimmy might. He's a great coach. Like he's incredible.
Or maybe Jerry makes another bold move
and
decides to go back.
Jerry really wants to complicate his taxes in 2018, so he's just going to get hired by 3 different universities. That's what's going to happen, folks. Yeah. That's the deal.
It could be a toss-up, Jimmy or Jerry.
Yeah.
It could go in either direction. Or they might, go in the complete opposite direction and go with a female coach.
I said Rocha.
Yeah, could happen. I mean, they've got some good pitchers coming in. I'm a big fan of their 2018 class.
It's a very good class.
And their 2019 class. They've got solid classes lined up for whoever they get in there, they're going to have to act fast on these recruits and get them to stay with the program.
It's a big-time job. Mm-hmm. Big-time job.
Big time. All right. Do we got any comments from social? I've been really following.
Somebody didn't like my BS comment.
Oh, potty mouth.
No, they didn't. I don't think Tony thinks that it's BS. What now?
Emily Crane is speaking her voice.
Oh, okay.
And there's actually, I just pulled out her tweet. If y'all want to look at that, I'm not sure.
All right, let's peep it.
Oh, let's go.
All right, hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. Somewhere in my slew of just images on my computer.
Yeah, Chloe Rathburn spoke up. There are a handful of players.
Oh, all right. Hearing feedback. Okay.
Probably read it out loud.
Yeah, let's read it. Hearing feedback still about E. One of the best that I heard so far is this, and I'll leave it anonymous because it doesn't matter who said it. It is the most true thing I've ever read. And only if you're a true competitor would you understand. Quote, it just makes sense to me. It just makes me mad because sports aren't meant to be easy. You're not always going to be the best. 99.9% of the time there is someone in the world better than you. That's the fun of sports. Working your ass off to be the best you can be so you can compete. But then you have this new, quote, group of people, I won't say generation because I don't want to be categorized with them, who think everyone needs a ribbon, everyone needs equal time, everyone deserves the same exact treatment regardless of the athletic ability or desire to hustle, ... And they are the ones who ruin it for everyone. Typically, people who like to work hard and excel are the ones who enjoy a tough coach.
I have a couple things to say about that. As a coach, you recruit those people.
Yeah, true story.
And I'm not, giving the players too much power, but at the end of the day, you chose those people to come to your university. So you have to manage them. That is your job. And as we saw in 2016, a slew of them left. And 2 of them received a generous amount of playing time.
Yeah, true story.
So that statement almost does not hold up. Now, across the country, culturally, in the landscape of softball, doesn't, possibly we've talked about, players being soft or having too much power. But, the times have changed. You need to watch what you say and, and be prepared to deal with the repercussions of what you have to say and what you the messages you consistently say to your kids every day. It's just part of the job. And not to mention that you get paid 6 figures to do this.
True story. Getting paid a lot of money.
I think the last thing, I think he was getting paid $125,000 a year to coach softball.
Yeah, I think he actually, in his response, he says political correctness, allowing kids more power than people in positions of authority, and their love affair with soft coaching has gotten the university, so he's talking about the University of Missouri as a whole, where it is today.
They haven't really been in the positive spotlight in the last few years.
But yeah, to your point, times are changing, like, you got to get on board. I also think, Emily basically just said millennials are to blame for everything. Those BuzzFeed articles where everything is a millennial's fault? It's all of the millennials' fault.
Yeah, totally.
That's how I read it. She didn't want to say millennials, but
yeah,
that's what we're all thinking. Millennials, this is your
if you're
fault.
Watching,
the state of softball in 2018 is the fault of millennials. How millennials broke softball. That's an article we're going to write.
It's coming out on FloSoftball next week. How millennials.
I'm allowed to say that because I'm on I'm like the beginning of the millennials.
Yeah. How millennials.
I'm a proud
softball.
millennial, by the way.
It's a great title.
How millennials broke softball in 2018.
Written by Sarah H. Hoffman.
Yeah, I'm going to write that one. Guest. Yeah.
Sarah the Hoffman.
The Hoff. Written by the Hoff.
But that's what.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we can end. I think we should end Missouri on that note because we got
a much bigger topic.
That was just like our pregame warm up
Why
right
don't
there.
You open this one up?
My heart rate's too high. You gotta start.
All
this
right,
one.
I'm gonna take this one. So, wow, what a week for the NPF.
Oh boy.
2 of the pro teams, the Akron Racers and the Scrap Yard Dawgs, are essentially no longer affiliated with the NPF. In the latest press release by the Scrap Yard Dawgs, basically mentioning of the Scrap Yard separating themselves from the NPF and alluding to grand ventures outside of the NPF and talks of raising salaries and playing in packed stadiums. Sarah, what do you make? Now, the league has kind of been up and down. And now, this is a bombshell, y'all.
Man, I don't even know where to start. I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna start with the press release. So I have 4 questions, Scrap Yard Dawgs, about your press release. You mentioned. Let me read it. So this is not fake news. They're going to be an independent team playing a full summer schedule that includes major venues and globally televised events in packed stadiums against top-ranked teams in the world. And then it goes on to say that not only will Scrap Yard Dawg players' contracts include significant salary increases. Okay, so these are my questions. Those are all great things. My questions. What major venues are these? The NPF has not been playing in major venues. What major venues are these? What are these globally televised events? Globally, we're talking about all over the world. I want to know what these globally televised events are. I also want to know where these packed stadiums are. I'm assuming that they're the same major venues that these packed stadiums are, but I want to know. I want to know what they are. And then I want to know how you are providing players with significant salary increases. Those are my 4 questions about the press release. Somebody can hit me back. I'll give you my email address at the end of the show. I want to know. Somebody tell me.
Well, you know this to be true. We will follow up with Scrapyard and figure out what their plan is going to be in 2018, because we have no idea. So
we don't have any idea. And then go ahead.
No.
I'm gonna keep going. If you guys don't like me, just stay with us for a second. Chez will start talking eventually. So I think I just kind of called out Scrapyard, but to come back on their side a little bit, I think several players, Monica Abbott including, were talking about how the system is broken, it's not working, they need to change, they need to evolve, and some players were like, there's no need to evolve. Okay, here's the point I want to make. The league started in 2004. This is all per Wikipedia, which is 100% accurate all the time.
So thank you to whoever submitted that
information. Thank you to whoever. The league started in 2004. In the 15 years that it has been around, there have been 17 different teams. And going into the 2018 season, we are down to 4. That is a broken system to me. Like, when I'm looking at that, I'm not looking like this is thriving. There are no changes that need to be made to this system. 17 different teams over 15 years, and now only 4 are viable. Very sadly, we just lost the oldest team that was there from the founding. The only team that was there from the founding, Akron Racers, closed their doors, which is super huge bummer.
It's really sad.
It's a very, very sad time. So do I agree with the Scrapyard players who are saying change needs to come? Yeah, I am, because this doesn't work. Did Scrapyard make the right move? Only time will tell. I don't know. I can't say that. But that's all I have to say.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw there was a major Twitter battle going on amongst players and former players on basically this news, and we'll get to some of those tweets. But one of the major questions was, is creating another platform really the answer?
I mean, that's the point I just made, right? Like, the platform that they were on wasn't working, or isn't working, right? For whatever reason, whether it's like they're playing during the summer when that's their fan base, when their fan base is also playing, whether it's the league is too short, whether there's not enough. I don't know what it is. I'm not in the business of the NPF, but the platform.
Well, I think what you're getting at is that it's not really a money-making business.
Right. A lot of the players are talking about, like, don't ever forget about the kids. The kids are and I get it. Like, we want to be role models for the kids. That's fantastic. And, like, a lot of players are saying this shouldn't be about money, but it's a business, right? Like, these teams are businesses. The NPF is a business. You got to figure out how to make money, or it's not going to be viable. Like, play for the love of the game. Be a great role model for kids. But at the end of the day, you got to pay your bills, and the business has to keep its doors open. So, like, they're all kind of hard things to grapple with. Like I said, I'm not running the front office of the NPF. I don't want to be doing that. It's just kind of the reality of the situation right now.
And it's a tough situation. I think all of us would agree that to see a pro league thrive and flourish and make money so there is an opportunity to play professionally is like an ultimate dream. But, I mean, is it really a reality?
I don't know. We got some. I don't know. Are you seeing some good stuff on Facebook?
Yeah.
We're yapping over here. We got any good?
Let's see. Alma Murphy said, very sad when building a pro league has been tough for years. Youth softball is exploding. Oh man, it just went away. Someone else just commented. Let's see what else. Monica said it best when she tweeted that doing the same thing over is a definition of insanity. You can't bury your head in the sand and expect things to get better.
Oh, Nick Torino. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Nick Torino. What does he have to say? So if this is for the game, haven't just taken away chances for kids in the draft? ? Only 2-team drafted mean hardly any draft picks, I would think.
Yes,
he makes a very good point.
Great point.
Go ahead and run with that.
So the only 2 really American leagues left in the NPF are the USSSA Pride and the Chicago Bandits, which leave 2 international teams, one the Beijing Shogang Eagles, and then in the place of the Akron Racers will be another Chinese team.
Wait, Wikipedia also has the Aussie Spirit. Is that still a thing?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
so
I
we
guess
have
it would make
have
for
five.
five. So
Three international teams.
Three international
Okay.
teams. Yeah. So that really would stink, basically, for when the draft comes out, and then it's really only 2 teams. Now there are going to be some Americans on these international teams. I would imagine they'd probably throw a pitcher and catcher there. I know, Ryan. We can't believe it either. No more racers. True story.
Megan came in and said, Aussie Spirit. We got you, Megan. Thanks.
Thanks, Megan.
All international teams are in the draft. So to give some color to Nick's comment, we're wondering whether these international teams would draft players or not.
Would they have the same amount of draft picks?
That's a good question.
Megan, we need to know.
Megan, will they have the same amount of draft picks? Let us know.
But while we wait for Megan's comments, let's get into some of these tweets that we saw going on last night. I was like up late watching this Twitter battle.
It was a war
unfold.
zone. Literally.
Yeah, it got gnarly in there.
What are you going to hit us with?
What we got?
first?
Well, we got Sammy Marshall first.
All right, Chez, I had to read the other one. You get to.
Okay, all right. So Sammy Marshall, player from the Chicago Bandits, had a lot to say. She's been on the Bandits for a while, but one of the main things, I think, in her opening statement was, I refuse to stay quiet in the wake of the news about the Scrap Yard Dawgs leaving the NPF. If your decisions and motives aren't to grow the game, this league, or for the betterment of the kids that look up to us, you have no place here, and we're happy to see you leave. Wow. Throwing shade.
Throwing some serious shade. I understand the sentiment that she's coming with that statement for. I think Scrapyard is doing this to grow the game. I would certainly hope. And again, this kind of goes back to my point. Like, yes, we play for the love of the game. Yes, we're going to be role models for the kids who watch us and look up to us. But like at the end of the day, you got to make money. And Scrapyard, I'm assuming Scrapyard is looking at this platform and this system and being like, this is not growing the game. This is not making money. Like, we got to move on. That's what I'm assuming. You know, hopefully we get to talk to Scrapyard and Connie and kind of see what their plans are moving forward. But like, we can't forget that like money makes businesses work.
I mean, it's like a broken record when we're hearing like it's a broken system and blah blah blah. But what's the working system? I mean, has anyone come forward with that?
Exactly. Like we just had somebody comment, having a viable league for softball is 100% possible. I hear you, Jason. I want it to be 100% possible, but we've been trying it for 15 years, and it's working to a certain extent. We've had pro softball for 15 years, which is fantastic. But we've had 17 different teams, and now we're down to 5 again.
Megan
we got, Allie?
Willis just informed us about the draft picks that we're asking about.
Oh, yeah.
But she said every team has anywhere between 7 and 7 picks, depending on previous trades and whatnot. However, with the loss of SY, I am sure the entire draft list will change once again. So many questions.
She has questions. We have questions. You all have questions. That's why we're talking about.
Questions for days.
Should be like, here's the questions, not here's the deal.
Here's the questions.
A lot of people are saying, and Megan, so they have 4 to 7 picks, per what Megan was saying. A lot of people are saying, like, just put a team on the West Coast.
Is that really the answer? I mean, let me just throw this out there. I'm pro league.
Everybody in this room is very pro league.
Yes,
like,
so pro.
We only want professional softball to be a very viable and successful thing.
But you guys know how expensive it is out there. When you're hearing about the financial struggles of some of these teams, like, is that really a viable option?
Right. Plus, there were 2 West Coast teams at the beginning of the league. The Arizona Heat, which is a very literal name, and the California Sunbirds, who were around 2004, 2005, 2006. So I don't know that just throwing teams on the West Coast is the answer.
Yeah, and then you take into account also travel. Like, it costs money to travel, and then you're traveling with like 30 people. You have to feed them. You have to lodge them. Rental cars, buses.
Yep.
It's a lot. It's
Yeah.
expensive.
It's freaking expensive.
Yep. Donnie makes a really good point. The NBA backs the WNBA until we have MLB money, and backing it won't work. That's a fair one. I think the WNBA has done a lot to kind of solidify its brand, like from a brand and marketing perspective. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know
Good
if they've
point.
been able.
That's a strong point.
That's my point with women's soccer and women's basketball. Although, side note, a women's soccer team just folded over the weekend as well. But back to my point. Women's basketball and women's soccer in the U.S. have done a tremendous job creating a brand, making celebrities out of their athletes. I don't know if that's because, when you're looking at WNBA, if they were able to do that because they had money from the NBA, probably. Marketing and building a brand takes time and money.
They play in a lot of the same arenas.
They do, yeah. So it may be, but I think we need to do that for softball. I think we need to have faces of the sport. I think we need to have a very strong brand, whatever that brand is for professional softball.
I mean, it would, like, not to make this like a baseball versus softball, but, like, it makes it more difficult when the field is different,
Yes.
Different. You know what I mean? It has to be a completely separate facility versus, like, in basketball, you can just use that same facility.
Yeah. Well, this
It's
is
like a
getting...
one-stop
But
shop.
Connie has joined. Connie May.
Oh.
Hello.
Hi. What's going on? Holla back.
Okay, so let's go back to Twitter, right? We have
more tweets.
Yeah, we've got a couple more tweets. There was a battle
We took a
kind of
detour.
going on between Emily Allard and Monica Abbott.
Yeah. Let's
Fire that up.
cue them up.
Oh, we're going
Oh,
Lauren
oh,
Hager
we're going
first.
to
Just
Hager.
kidding. Just kidding.
Lauren Hager. Everyone can say what they want, but I am now fully surrounded by a group of people that want softball to be what little girls dream about playing for the rest of their lives. Not in fear of waking up tomorrow and see if their team has folded or not.
We need to work on our writing skills, NPF.
I'm
sorry, no longer NPF.
Twitter expanded their character count, so we can make full sentences now. No, I'm just... Lauren Hager, thank you for your tweet.
Cold-blooded.
A very, very good point. Like this comes down to like the reality of the situation for these players. A lot of them are wondering year to year, am I going to have a job? Mm-hmm. And then it's like they have a job, but they don't have enough money to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Right? So I think, in her mind, Scrap Yard is making a move to make that possible for players. I think that's how I'm taking that tweet. But yeah, it's not, adults we need jobs, and we need jobs to pay our bills, and
Right on.
and fear comes in if you're talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Like, I'm going psychology.
You're going
on you
all the
guys.
way to Maslow.
The base is like basic needs, housing, food. That doesn't happen if you don't have a job, right? Like, so the fear is real if your job is in jeopardy.
Right.
So very good point, Lauren. What else we got? Cue us up.
Let's see. I'm pulling up Emily Allard's tweet that we're talking about. There it is.
There you go.
All right. So this was in response to a Monica Abbott tweet. You want to read Monica Abbott's tweet, and I'll take Emily's?
Yeah, so
Allie.
Monica Abbott, in the grand scheme of things, if you don't grow, evolve, and change, you do not make a new platform for new athletes, youth and kids to play professionally.
And then Emily Allard's response, longtime Chicago Bandit, devil's advocate. Did we need a new platform, or did we need to find a way to grow, evolve, and change the old one? I'm not a fan of the international agenda either. The Olympics has that handled. But the game doesn't need more options. It needs unity, sustainability. Sarah, your response to that?
Oh man, she makes a good point about and I'll use the word stability instead of sustainability when you're talking about that last half is a very, very good point. Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about 17 teams in 15 years, that doesn't seem to be working to me. I think that's my point. And obviously these players are in the league. I'm not in the league. I'm sitting here in a studio in Austin, Texas talking. I acknowledge that. But I'm just giving my opinions. This is kind of how I'm seeing it. 17 teams, 15 years. We only have 5 left. I don't think we've ever gotten more than 6 teams in the league. That's correct. at one point do you stop trying to change something and create a new one?
Yeah.
That's just my devil's advocate. That's my devil's advocate to her devil's advocate, I suppose.
Obviously, like year after year, and granted, the Scrap Yard became official in 2015, but only played 2 full seasons.
Yes.
So, I think what I'm trying to imagine is what is the amount of change that they wanted to see within those 2 seasons going into season 3.
Yeah, you make a good point. We talked about this a little bit before.
I'm just
The
curious.
first sentence of their press release is, at the NPF owners meeting last week, it became clear that the mission of the NPF has changed significantly since Scrap Yard Dawgs first joined the league. That's 2 years. It took 2 years for somehow the league to shift its mission so much that Scrap Yard was like, we got to bounce, we're out.
Well, I mean,
That seems odd to me.
Well, look at the chain of events as well, right? So the PA rebellion goes down, and then you had the Chinese team enter the league, and then the Aussie team. It's just, how long are these international teams going to stay in the league?
Yeah.
I don't know. And then how do you build a fan base from international teams? Right, so like, where are they locally based?
Right, very good point.
Because you still have to sell. You still have to sell tickets.
Yeah, and I'm sure, everybody knows the Lauren Chamberlains, the Sierra Romeros, the Lauren Hagers, the Monica Abbotts, but I don't know that little girls playing club softball know, the stars of the Aussie team or the Chinese team. And it goes back to kind of my building a brand, right? Like, you got to build a brand around people who people know. You got to create fans.
I see Greg Witt is
Greg
blowing up.
He said the NPF needs an official board of directors, someone that the commissioner has to answer to. She can just have free reign to run it however she wants, especially when things have been run the way they are for the past several years. So a board of directors. Interesting.
I'm not opposed to that. Most businesses do have a board of directors. I don't know the basic setup of hierarchy when it comes to the NPF's business, but he also fires back with a tweet from Victor Paisano, who was part of the Dallas charge. The retention rate at 6%. Maybe it's time for a change in leadership. There are people who want to be part of the solution, not the problem. So, I don't know.
A lot of theories.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot here. There's a lot of people who are like, it needs backing, it needs backing, it needs backing. How do they get backing? I don't know how they get backing from the MLB.
Well, I mean, the MLB, obviously, we see the connection like through sport, but also the MLB needs to know that there's a viable business there.
Sure.
I mean, business is business.
Right.
You got to make that paper. Know what I mean?
In paper. Yeah.
I'm gonna end with this.
You end her out.
All right. So a lot of drama this weekend, and if you were on the site the past week, we mentioned that there was a girl missing, Emma. She was found, and unfortunately, she was not alive. Yesterday, Mike Stith, the Batbusters organization, Tony Rico with the Firecrackers, Sue Inquist, and Jen Schroeder, held a massive event yesterday as a memorial service for Emma and friends and family. So you guys are in our thoughts, and we're truly sorry to hear about what happened. No one wants to hear about, some losing one of our own.
Yeah.
Basically.
Thoughts and prayers to the family, to the friends, to the teammates. We hate these stories.
Yeah,
we really
absolutely.
Do.
But obviously, we've got a great softball family here, so don't be afraid to reach out to your loved ones, and because you know what, we're all family.
We're all family.
All right, and that's the deal. See you guys next week.